I still got my coffee, still drinking the same coffee. That's all I had so far for breakfast, and I think it's like noon now or something like that. I'm looking over there like it's a clock. It ain't no damn clock over there. It's just the ancestor altar. Oh man. So I just got done with my reading for the week that I'm getting ready to post on YouTube. And as I was doing the reading, I'm like, it's a lot of more things that can be talked about, but I try not to add too much stuff in the reading because people don't listen to it. People don't have um a very high attention span to be able to listen to the full video. And that's why majority of the people, they like clips, that you can just listen to a couple of clips and just kind of get the message, even though majority of the time the clips will give you bits and pieces of the message, but the clips don't give you the full message. And then clips can easily be misinterpreted if you didn't hear what came before and after that little section. But people like clips because it's easy, it's simple. Normally they're just like 1 minute or so, and so people really love the clips. So let's kind of go with a recap. Let's go with a recap of what's been happening the last couple of weeks, with this reading, because whoever this is for, I'm ready for you to get out of my energy field. I'm ready for you to get out my energy field, baby, because you have been in my energy field for too long. And I'm ready for you to get out because I'm ready to do more readings outside of love. And you can tell that these readings are keep being connected week after week after week. And it's really keep pulling on the same energy. And so I'm gonna, hit on some points that I, just did in the reading. Now the cards are already out. So, keep in mind, this is not a fresh reading. So those of you that just joined, this is the reading that I just completed. I just did a reading for the week that I have it uploading to YouTube now so that I can add the description and stuff like that. And so it's in the process of being uploaded. And it's just more stuff that I just want to clarify about the reading that is getting ready to be posted on my YouTube. So the cards are already out. So let's not think that, I just put cards out there. The cards are already out here based on that reading. I just want to clarify it more. For the last couple of weeks, and I want to say months, this has been hitting on the same energy. When this energy first started, I remember that it was talking about witchcraft, that it was saying the reason why this relationship ended, it was because of witchcraft. That this was someone that the ending of the relationship, it didn't follow that natural flow of things, where majority of the time when people break up, even when the person just got caught, cheating, they still are, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Baby, I'm so sorry. Please give me another chance. I promise I'm not going to do it again. Your process didn't follow that. Yours was just like, oh, well, fuck it. The person ghosted you. They disappeared. They disrespected you in all type of way. They could have put things on social media where this did not follow that natural flow of someone understanding that they had years with you, memories with you, that they had a lifetime with you, that this was somebody that just completely uprooted and left. And it left you wondering why. Like, why did this happen? How did this happen? And the cards were saying, well, this was witchcraft. And so that's how this thing started off months ago. And so we went through this little phase where every reading was starting to be about witchcraft. And then we got to this zone where it was keep confirming to you that this person is coming back. And so then we kind of got into that zone where it was like week after week after week, this person is coming back, this person is coming back, this person is coming back. And then it got to a week, it got to a couple of weeks where it narrowed it down even more, where it's like, okay, this person is a Pisces, where it's like, this person, their sun is a Pisces, their rising, their moon, somewhere in their chart, it was heavy Pisces, because everything for the last couple of weeks has been about Pisces. And so it's like, okay, now we're getting more information about the sign and the characteristics and stuff of the person. And now we're here with this reading. And, one of the things that you're going to notice on the video is the first thing that I tell you is looking at this reading. The first thing that I notice is that the collective is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because when I see magic like this, it's letting me know that you're not cleansing. You're not doing any incense in the home. You're not doing any floor washes. You're not doing any spiritual baths. This is someone that is not doing the work that they're supposed to be doing in order to bring this love in that's supposed to be here. Because for the last couple of weeks, there have been readings of saying that this person is coming back, and there were no delays. Whenever there is a reading of someone is coming back and there are no delays, it's letting you know that this relationship should have been back together by now. Every time when there's no delays, it's like, look, in the next couple of hours, in the next couple of days, or the next couple of weeks, y'all two were supposed to be back together, which means that there was missed opportunities of days that you two were supposed to be back together, but for whatever reason, there was a fail. And whether it was a fail because, this person could have reached out and you could have went off on them. And I told you to be careful of that because this person was already coming in very insecure. It could have been that, you didn't respond back, or maybe you went in the frequency that you were supposed to in order for this connection, for that divine intervention to actually take place. So now we're here with this energy. And the first thing that I noticed with this energy is that for the last couple of weeks, it keeps saying that someone is interfering with this connection. And that is true. Someone is interfering with this connection. There's someone that's interfering in this connection. And when someone is interfering with this connection, you should be able to feel when someone is interfering with anything in your life. When someone is interfering with your money, when someone is interfering with your love, when someone is interfering with any aspect of your life, you should be able to feel it, because there's going to be a nudge where it's like something not right about this situation. Like, why is everybody talking about me and gossiping about me? Why am I keep losing contracts? Why am I, keep losing money? Why do it feel like, all my money is draining out? Or why do it feel like no matter what I do, I can never find love? Those are indicators that somebody is working against you. And like always, what we do all the time, like some of us like to do, is that we would notice these things. We would notice the change, but we have no actions. That we would notice that, like, people are gossiping about me on the job, and we would notice it, but we wouldn't do anything about it. Why? No, sir, no, ma'am. Baby, we spend too much time playing Inspector Gadget instead of playing Solve This Fucking Problem Now. We want to do Inspector Gadget of trying to find out who sent us this magic. Was it my mama? Was it my brother? Was it my daddy? Was it my sister? We'll go to reader after reader after reader of who sent me this, who did this. Who gives a fuck? Nobody care about who sent the magic. You said gossiping on the job, black or purple candle, black pepper, cayenne pepper, cloves, light that shit. I don't care who did it. I don't care who did it. I'm going to automatically defend myself. You are saying that people are gossiping about me? No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm going to get a cow tongue. I'm going to cut that thing open, slither that thing open, and I'm going to put a petition in there to all my enemies, known and unknown, and slide that shit right in there with black thread and sew that thing up. And then on top, I'm going to put it right there on Ogun altar, and I'm going to do some hot sauce. I'm going to do some cayenne pepper. I'm going to do some black pepper. I'm going to do some cloves. And I'm going to put that thing right on there and do all types of incense and everything else on that cow's tongue, because I don't care who sent it. My thing is, I want to make sure to remove it before it gets out of control. And so all too often, we notice that there's a problem and that there's a change, but we spend so much time trying to figure it out who did it that we give them more time to allow their magic to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And now we spent so much money trying to figure out who sent it that now we have no money to get the things that we need in order to get this shit off of us. You would automatically know who sent you that magic the moment you start defending yourself and you start doing return to senders. Baby, trust me, you know, it's the person with the black eye. It's the person that just lost everything. Now, come on now. We can put two and two together. The moment I lit this candle, now all of a sudden my best friend just lost his job. Like, come on. Let's put two and two together. You will automatically know. But when I first looked in these cards, the first thing that I said was, I was like, you have the Knight of Wands in reverse and you have the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess is about a hidden agenda. This is someone that's doing something secret, doing something behind your back. And, this is the High Priestess can be very dark magic as well. And this is dark magic in order to cause delays. And the overall energy for this category is the Hierophant, that this is someone like a Babalao and an Orisha priest, someone in that type of caliber that is sending this magic, and this person is causing a lot of delays in your life. And this person is causing a lot of delays to the point where it's very hard for you to find love. It's not just about getting this person back. This is someone that is doing so much dark magic on your life that this is someone that is very hard for you to find love. That love is not coming in your life at all. That you could be someone that is getting on dating apps and no one is hitting you up. This could be someone that you are just putting yourself out there, and it's like as if you are invisible. And it's because someone is doing some very dark magic when it comes to your love life. And this person is doing this magic on your love life in hopes of you not getting back with this divine masculine. But even though the intentions is not for you to get back with this divine masculine, it's still affecting every other person that comes in. This is somebody that can be going through a mental breakdown when it comes to their love life, that you're keep going to bed lonely, depressed. that this is someone that is praying out and saying, why is it that everybody that I'm attracted to is not attracted to me, but everybody that's attracted to me, I'm not attracted to them? Because that's what this dark magic is doing. This is literally making somebody crazy, where you're trying to figure out why this is just not coming together for you. And the reason why this is not coming together is because you literally have someone that's doing magic. I'm just keep going so far in this message, and I forgot to say, thank you for the person that gave the $13. I seen it earlier. I was just in the zone. So I appreciate the donation. But this is someone that your love life is really getting fucked up because of this magic that someone is putting on your life. We have to understand that, it was a show. Elijah, what is that? What is that? Okay. This is that was just a Elijah making noise upstairs. Shoot, that's a sign. Now I got to get back to my train of thought. I got to get back to my train of thought now. Some of us, we got to learn that we got to start doing the work. We just can't. Divination, that's what I was going to say. American Gods, that was the name of the show. There was a show, American Gods, and they talked about the deities, and towards the end they even start talking about some of the orishas. But they talked about deities and all different types of religions and everything. And I loved one of the main characters, that he went and got divination from someone, and he ended up getting a really bad reading, and he smiled, and the person was like, why are you smiling when you just got a really bad reading? And he said, it's because he know that what you pull today can be completely different tomorrow based on the actions that I make. And so what this reading is today can be completely different tomorrow or the next hour based on the decisions that you make. And so technically, there is not a such thing as a bad reading, because you can do the things that you need to do in order to change the course of anything. It is very rare for something to be set in stone. Some things are set in stone, but it's very rare for things to be set in stone. Your actions and what you do are. Now I got my brother calling me. I wonder why everybody calling me. And so your actions of what you do is a huge part. And so when we see that things are changing in a negative way, our first reaction, it must be to act. Is if I see that I'm the type of person that I have my own business and I'm losing clients left and right, and that's not normal for me. No, sir. This is not the time to play Inspector Gadget and try to inspect why. Get a green candle, put money oil on it, sprinkle a little cinnamon, sprinkle a little basil, light that shit up and recite Psalms 4. This is the time to act, where it's like we can figure out who did what later. But right now, The most important thing, what do you think is the best move forward? To try to figure out who did the magic or to open back up our doors to bring money in? I'm not going to chase who did it. I can deal with that later. My first thing is to bring it back in. Is to bring back in what somebody is trying to get out. And so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Ilegua to open the doors. I'm going to go to Ogun to clear my path. And then once I do that, that is when I'm going to go ahead and do my green candle, put money oil in it, do a little cinnamon, do a little basil, even can sprinkle a little rosemary in there, light that shit up, recite Psalms 4, and bring money flowing back into my home. That you can even sweep your floor from the door all the way from the front all the way to the back and burn the dust, burn that negative energy up, put it in an iron pot and burn that shit up, and then do a floor wash that you can literally take some pine, mix it with orange peel and basil and cinnamon sticks. And you can mix that up and even put some pine sol in there and mop your floor from the front all the way to the back in order to bring money in. So there's things that you can do. That is my first reaction. My first reaction is to open my door back up. I can care less right now who did it. Right now, my goal is to open my door back up. Once that door is open, that's when I can care about everything else. That's when I can say, okay, which bitch did this? But that's not my number one concern. So let's get into this reading. And this is the reading that I'm getting ready to post in a couple of minutes. You know, it's just in the process of uploading right now. And I just wanted to go into more detail because I didn't want to make that video so long because people attention span, they don't like long videos. And so I'm like, let me just do a live and add some more stuff to this reading that's getting ready to be posted. You start off with the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is a portal. Whenever you see the Two of Wands, always think of the Two of Wands as a portal because you have a 1 here and a 1 here. 1 is spiritual magic. Wands is fire element. Wands is normally the cards that is used whenever someone is doing magic against you and things like that. Wands is normally present because Wands is spiritual magic. But the way this thing is positioned in a way of a portal. Whenever you see something to the left and to the right and something in the middle, that is a portal. You see this as we give offerings to the deities. That whenever we give offerings to the deities, we have a candle to the left and a candle to the right, and we have all of the offerings in the middle of that candle. That is symbolic for a portal that is being opened for our deities of saying, here, receive what I have to offer you. And so the Two of Wands is a portal. And so the Two of Wands is letting you know that a portal is getting ready to open in your life. Something is getting ready to happen. Someone is right there at the threshold that is getting ready to go through this portal. And when you look at the Two of Wands and you have the world in his hand, and then even with the clarifier, you have the world card. This is someone that what they're manifesting is the world. They're manifesting fulfillment. They're manifesting travel because both the Two of Wands and the world card is the card of travel. And the one thing that you have to think about is that portals it's not like a train or a plane. A portal is the moment you go through it, you're there. And so this is something that could happen. It could be overnight. It's definitely going to be something unexpected. That even though you know something is getting ready to come back in, it's going to happen in a very unexpected way. That this person could either pop up at your house, this person can pop up at your job, or end up just being at the same place as you unexpectedly. And so two people is getting ready to come back together, and this is divine intervention to me in the overall energy. One of the most significant things in this reading, you do have the Tower card here, and the Tower card is another card about abrupt change. The overall energy is unexpected. That is saying that something unexpected is going to happen. That there's going to be an unexpected door, an unexpected portal that is getting ready to open. That, and it's, even though you see it coming, it's still going to be unexpected. That, the way it happens, the way it unfolds, it is still going to shock and surprise you. And now here we have the Tower, and the Tower is another card about unexpected. This is an unexpected change. And the unexpected change is paired with the Three of Cups, which the Three of Cups is about a third party. And the Three of Cups is about celebration. And so this is letting me know that, there's this person, the other person is with someone, and that relationship is getting ready to come to an end. The relationship is getting ready to come to an end very fast. And just like this person is going to unexpectedly come back into your life, this relationship is going to be dissolved unexpectedly. That this is going to be something that happened overnight, that this person is just not going to be able to see. I need to. And so there's going to end up being a breakup in this relationship that the divine masculine is in. One of the most important things that I wanted to talk about is the crowning energy. The crowning energy is the position where it is showing that somebody is actively interfering with this connection. And this is someone that is doing magic on this connection. You have it starting off with the Hierophant, and the Hierophant normally when I see the Hierophant, it's always depicted as God. That I'm like, this is God intervening. But the Hierophant can also, remember, that these cards have multiple meanings. The Hierophant is also religion, tradition, and so in this reading, the Hierophant is being seen as someone like a Babalao, a Mason, an Orisha priest, a warlock. This is someone that practices magic, because you have, as the clarifier, you have the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess in the reverse, it talks about dark magic. It talks about a hidden agenda. It talks about someone sending out witchcraft. And you have it paired with the Knight of Wands in reverse, which the Knight of Wands in reverse, it talks about delays. And so your crowning energy is saying that this is someone that you could be feeling the effects of this magic, because someone is closing your doors when it comes to love. With magic like this, it's more than just keeping this divine masculine from out of your life. This is someone where you could be on dating apps and nobody is talking to you. It's like you're invisible. It's like the people that is interested in you, you're not interested in. But the people that you're interested in, they're not interested in you. This is someone that is sending magic to really fuck with your love life. And When we see things like this, we need to make sure that we're doing the things that we're supposed to do in order to open our doors. There's a lot of things you can do in order to open your doors, specifically in our spiritual path. In order to open your doors, we go to Elegua. Elegua is the Orisha that will opens the doors as people are trying to close your door. And Ogun is the one that fights on your behalf in order to clear the path. So if anybody is trying to trouble your path in any type of way, it is Ogun who fights for you. How do we access these energies? If you are initiated, you should have your Orishas in home and you should know what rituals you need to do. And so there should be nothing that I should be teaching you because your Babalao should be teaching you that information. There's powerful rituals that we can do doing our incantations in order to awaken the Orisha to open our doors to the uninitiated. Even though this is a closed practice, the Orishas are not closed to the uninitiated. With the uninitiated, because you don't have the consecrated Orisha in home, you must go to their dominion. And so you're just doing more traveling than a practitioner. And that you would have to go to the crossroads in order to speak to Elegua to open your doors. And you would then have to go to the railroads in order to speak to the energy of Ogun in order to clear your path. Everything that we do in a very respectful way. That when we go to the crossroads, we take a couple of pennies in our hands, keeping in mind that Elegua is the number 3 in all of his multiples. And one of his favorite numbers is 21. And so we take coins in our hands in the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And we lay it down at the crossroad as an offering for Elegua. And we can give Elegua an apple and a banana because Elegua loves apples and bananas. And we can also throw a little candy, some Jolly Ranchers and stuff in there because Elegua love candy. And then as we are at the crossroad, we say, Elegua, this is I, so-and-so. May you open my doors. Keep my doors open. Allow me to have a lover. Allow money to flow into my life. Allow, things to be fixed in whatever department that you want to talk about. And then we go to the railroads, to Ogun, which is a strong warrior. That with your warriors is all different types of meat you can lay down at the railroad. You can lay some nuts and some trail mix. You can lay rum as well for Elegua. Elegua love rum as well at the railroad. And as you are at the railroad, you are asking Ogun to clear your path and to remove every last one of your enemies. You could even write your enemy's name on a brown paper bag and put it on the railroad tracks. That will really send your enemy some energy.
You gotta go.
Yeah, Jaden gotta go. Yeah, because his dad said he can only stay for 2 hours. Go ahead, Elijah. You can put on those shoes and you can walk him home.
Thank you, mister.
Oh yeah, no problem, Jaden. It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. So yep, if you want to come back over, just give me a call.
Okay, thank you.
My son had his one of the neighbors it is one of Elijah's friends, so he came over. They were upstairs playing the PlayStation and stuff, and so now it's time for him to go back home. His dad said 2 hours he can play. So now they're wrapping things up. So you can go to the railroad for Ogun. There's a lot of different things you can do with Ogun. And from there, once you have petitioned Elegwa and you have petitioned Ogun, if you're uninitiated, you don't know who your head Orisha is. So let's not guess. Let's not play the guessing game. We can love the Orishas all day. We can love certain Orishas all day. We can say that, we love Oshun and we love Yemaya and we love Mama Oya and we love Chango. But if you don't know who your head Orisha is, let's not guess. If you are uninitiated, the only two you really need to worry about when you are uninitiated is Elegwa and Ogun. Elegwa will open your door. Ogun will clear your path. You can worry about everybody else once you get initiated. But those are the two important ones, because when it comes to rituals, those are the two that you need. Those are the specific two Orishas that you need. Everybody else we can talk about later. But you gotta go to Elegwa. You must have Ogun. And those are their dominions. You got the crossroads, you got the railroads. It's a lot of things you could do. Shit, you can even take some of the railroad dirt while you're at the railroad and sprinkle it in your car. Put it on your put it on your floor mat. Put a little railroad dirt on your floor mat. There's a lot of different things we can do. But we got to start doing the work. We got to start doing the work and stuff like that. Even for the ones that, the Jesus freaks, where it's just like, Jesus is the way and stuff like that. There's no exemption from work. Even you must do the work. You just can't say Jesus, 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 and don't do shit. Even you must do the work. And Jesus even said the same thing. Why, that's the one thing I hate about Christians. Christians are the laziest fucking religion. Christians are lazy as shit. And they love being lazy because they think that all they got to do is call on Jesus and that's fucking it. No, there's still work that you must do. Even Jesus said the same thing, that Jesus said that the spirit is willing. The spirit is willing, but it is the flesh that is weak. And you see that in Christians, their flesh is weak as fuck. Can't do shit. Can't manifest nothing. There's work that must be done. Even if you don't believe in the deities, I'm not knocking you for that. But in your deity, do what you are supposed to do. Why are you not praying? That's just like, and the majority of y'all not praying because y'all don't even know how to pray. On my last live, they were trying to convince me that Jesus is God. You dumb. It's like, how do you not get the basic Christians 101? How do we not get the basics Christian 101? Thanks for the donation. I got to start saying more thank yous because I be seeing it and I be so focused. Some people, they don't understand Christian 101, that you keep talking about Jesus, 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 but you don't even understand. Jesus is not God. God is God. Jesus is Jesus. Holy Spirit is Holy Spirit. And the three must stay separate. And to truly understand the trio is that spirit is the spirit that lives inside of you, which is what we call Ashe. That is what we call Ashe. Jesus is like what this person just said, is the Son of God, but it is not God. And so what Christians are supposed to be doing is not exalting Jesus to be God. Jesus is not God. They are supposed to be praying to God in his Son's name. It is in the name of Jesus that they are supposed to be praying. And so it's not saying that Jesus is God. It's saying that Jesus it's just like in my spiritual path, where it's like Jesus is Elegwa, where you are going to God, which in our spiritual path is Olodumare. You are praying to Olodumare, but you're doing it in the name of the Orishas, in the Ashe of the Orishas. But in Christianity, is you are praying to God, which you will call Yahweh or what I am, Jehovah Jireh, whatever name you want to use. You are praying to God, but you are doing it in the name of Jesus. And it's not saying that Jesus is God. Jesus is still a deity. You are just doing it in his name. I don't know why I got to teach Christians Christianity. I don't know why I got to teach Christians Christianity. I don't see how they don't get it. It's like, how do we not get basic Christianity? Somebody somebody said Jesus is absolutely God, and that's how dumb you are. And that's why witchcraft and stuff is in your life, because you don't understand basic concepts. There is, I don't care whatever religion you believe in, there is only one God. There is, in every last one of the religions, there is only one God. Nobody replaces the gods. You know, that's just like in our spiritual path. We do not dare to say that the Orishas are gods. The Orishas is God. The Orishas are not God. Yes, you can say that they are deities. You can say that they are demigods. You can say that they are gods with a lowercase g, but we do not disrespect and say that the Orisha is God. The Orishas are not God. The Orishas are the Orishas. The deities are the deities. And God is God. Spirit is spirit. Ancestors are ancestors. What do we not get about that? And yep, Olodumare is God in Ifa when it comes to Ifa. Olodum, there is only one God. Even the way that even when even the names in which that describes Jesus, it says that Jesus is the Lord of Lords. So yes, you can say that he's Lord over all of the other lords. He's King of Kings. He's kings over all of the other kings. But never once did it say that Jesus is God himself. Jesus even said, don't even give me that fucking title, because I got a father just like you, and my father is your father. Just like I report and pray to the Father, you must report and pray to the Father. Just like Jesus was not able to do anything until he prayed to God, it is the same way with you. Never once did Jesus come down here and say that I am God. He said, I got somebody to report to just like you got somebody to report to. There is one true God. Oh, wait. This is, I gotta respond to this. Elijah, because did you give Jaden your Xbox controller?
No. No, I didn't.
Because Jaden, his mom said that he got a blue Xbox controller.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Where's yours?
In my thing.
And she said that he said you gave him some gift cards.
Yeah, my empty gift cards just for decoration.
my let me finish my live.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I had one of the parents asking me questions. Um, but yeah, we got to do the work. We got to do the work of what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And so the one thing that I was going to say is that regardless of what it is, I'm trying to, where can I get railroad dirt from the railroad? You get railroad dirt from the railroad. All you got to do is go to the railroad where you see the railroad tracks. Um, and so where is that gonna we got to do the work. Okay, perfect. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, we got to do the work. And, majority of the time we don't want to do the work. And sometimes what that work look like. Okay, now I'm getting distracted because I'm doing multiple things. I'm texting the parent too. I like when parents work together because we be on it, because, I'm the same way. If my kid come into the house with something that I didn't buy, I'm asking the parent like, hey, my kid came in with this. Where did he get this from? And so I like, parents that follow up where she was like, did your son really give him this or did he take it? I love parents that follow up because I'm the exact same way. I'm the exact same way with my kid where I'm like, I want to make sure it's no problems. So yep, I'm the exact same parenting style. Um, so it's all about we got to do the work, y'all. And regardless of what religion we are, we got to do the work. And so I always like to go talk about my religion or my spiritual path as well as Christianity as well because we always got the ignorant ass Christians in the comment. And it's like, majority of the time you got to teach them. And, the work when it comes to Christianity is that there's a lot of things you could be doing. You need to be praying. You need to be, doing the work. Is that Christians spend so much time pointing the finger and being in everybody else's life that they don't even take the time to clean up their own house. And you must do the work if you want to see change, if you want to see manifestation. And part of that is you need to be praying, you need to be reading, you need to be understanding your word. People that's outside of Christianity should not be knowing the word and the scriptures more than what you know it. They should not be able to recite things word from word and you barely know what happened in Genesis. And so it's like, you got to do your part. And part of that is by knowing what it is that you truly believe in. And some of you don't even understand the basic concept that Jesus is not God. So I know that you're lost on everything else. Like, I would hate to ask you about the 12 tribes of Israel. If you can't understand that easy, simple fact about Jesus, you really wouldn't even understand the 12 tribes of Israel and how that affects a lot of things, including the New Testament. Y'all are lost. Christians are lost as hell. But at the end of the day, let's do the work. And my thing is that Christians are definitely lost because y'all spend more time on spiritual people page than what you actually spend and than what you actually spend reading your own Bible. You spend more time listening to a spiritual person because majority of the time they know more than you. You spend more time listening to a spiritual person than what you actually spend reading your Bible and trying to truly understand your Bible. And it's because sometimes we use the same tools, but we have a better outcome. Because you have your hoodoo practitioners that use the book of Psalms as a spell book, and you don't even understand the book of Psalms. You don't even understand how to activate those scriptures. Let's do the work, people. There's work that needs to be done. There's things that we can be doing that can open our doors up and bring us the things that we need. And part of this is understanding. We must understand how to do the work. We must understand, it's like I said, earlier, if my doors and stuff is not opening, I'm quickly doing the work that I need to do. I'm not worried about who's sending it or anything like that. We can figure that out later. We can figure that part out later. For now, I'm just going to open my doors back up. And, the funny thing that I always say about Christians too, which is funny as hell, is that how is it that Christians know every demon? No, that's the one thing I don't know. How is it that they know every demon? Every time when I go through TikTok and it's always, one of the Christians videos, and I zoom through them all because I'm like, I don't feel like listening to any ignorance teachings because, Christians are very ignorant to me, and uneducated. But every time when it comes to the Christians, they know every demon known to man. This is the demon so-and-so. This is the demon so-and-so. And I'm like, y'all know every fucking demon. But you don't know anything about love. You don't know any angels. Like, y'all spend so much time talking about the devil and all of these demons. But you mean to tell me you don't know anything else? Like, that's very suspect, and that's very scary to me. When you can spend so much time knowing every fucking demon in the book and you don't know anything else, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm like, y'all know every fucking demon. That's the demon so-and-so. That's the demon so-and-so. How do we know this shit? How do we know? Jesus did not sit around naming demons. Jesus did not sit around. Like, to me, what flows out of your mouth and stuff like that is an example of what is in your heart. And if you can name every demon and all of this other stuff, to me, that is what's in your aura. That is what's in your energy field. And we got to ask the question, why is that in your energy field? Why do you know so many devils and demons? Like, when these things are so common to you, why is it that they are so common? Why are these things so common? Why are these devils and demons so common to y'all? Whew. We got to figure this thing out. And then, my thing too, which, Christians, they contradict themselves so much. If Jesus is the only way, why are you here when I'm not in that fan club? Why are you here? Did Jesus not say that if somebody don't accept me, dust the sand from off of your sandals and keep it moving? If Jesus is the only way, why are you here? You're here for a reason. You're here because your spirit is telling you what you believe in is not enough. What you believe in is not, if you got to constantly keep saying the same thing, you're trying to convince yourself that that is the answer. And that is the very reason you're here. That's one of the dumbest things to me, for somebody to say that, oh, I don't believe in, Jehovah Witness, but you're in their temple every single Saturday. What sense do that make? Oh, I hate the Catholics, but you're at Mass every Sunday. Oh, I cannot stand the Buddhist theology, but you live in a Buddhist temple. What sense do that make? See how crazy that makes you look. And it's at that point, you got to ask yourself, who are you convincing? Who are you convincing? Because you're not convincing the people outside of you. Because in our mind, this doesn't make sense. This is not any logic. Oh man, I hate sweets, but you're in a bakery. You're in a bakery. You're in the middle of a bakery, and you're telling me you hate sweets, and you're telling me that you're a diabetic. That's not making any sense. That's just not logical. It's not logical. And a lot of people, they like to come on spiritual people pages in order to get that information, but they like to leave a lot of comments for just in case their brother at the church see them on this live. It's like, I got to cover myself. And it's like, baby, just follow your heart. If this is where your heart is leading you, it's a reason that your heart is leading you here, because you're not convincing me. Because you gotta think about it. I'm not coming to your page, you're coming to mine. It's something that your spirit is telling you to get from this. It's something that your spirit is telling you to get. If you are here every single time, it is something that your spirit is telling you that you're missing, and it's something that you're not being filled with. Because if I am filled and satisfied in my religion and my spiritual path, I'm not thirsting for anything else. You won't see me on any of these platforms that doesn't agree with what it is that I believe. But when you are somewhere that contradicts what it is that you believe, it's because your spirit is not getting the food that it really needs. Your soul is still thirsty for knowledge and wisdom, and you're trying to uncover what it is that your soul is yearning for, what it is thirsting for. And so you can try to convince everybody else, and you can even try to deceive everybody else. But the one thing that you will never be able to deceive is your Ori. Your Ori knows exactly what it is that it needs, and is trying to align with you to tell you what it is that you need. Because there is no way in hell you're going to have me somewhere that I completely disagree on. I don't even like watching movies that I disagree with. I only watch movies that's aligned with what I like. If it's a comedy, I'm watching it. If it's action, I'm watching it. If it's something else that I just don't like, a lot of horror stuff, that's not my thing. I don't like seeing a lot of blood and guts and stuff like that. That's not my thing. So you won't catch me watching that. When it comes to it's a lot of things that when it's things that reminds me of slavery. So like if it's anything where it shows where people are eating other humans, where it's stuff like that, I don't watch stuff like that, because the first thing it puts me in the mind of slavery. It puts me in the mindset of everything that the white man did. of how he made us fight each other. They eating our skin, wearing our skin, all of the nasty stuff that they did to black people. I'm like, no, that is too close to home. That is too close. I don't watch stuff like that. That is too close to home. Nope. It's like it's a reason. That is too close to home for me. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I'm sorry. That is just that's way too much for me. I cannot do that. Oh, thanks for the donation. I gotta start saying thank you because I be in my zone and I don't be paying attention. But that's too close to home for me. Oh, look at us. We got somebody got the 4 of swords with the 8 of cups. Leaving abandonment, leaving disappointment. Somebody is resting from this. Somebody is giving up that energy. But I love how the Christians come on this page and they like to stay on here. They know they get knowledge. It's like, baby, you know you learning. Let's stop playing. You know you picking up those downloads. You like, let me put this in my prayer book and hide it from Sister Singleton. Let me hide it from Sister Singleton. I know if she find out that I was on that boy live and I got these downloads, I'm off the church board. I love how I attract so many Christians. The Christians love being on my page, boy. I love them on here because they make my videos and stuff go higher. I love the Christians being on my page. I love the Christians being on my page. And then it's just ignorant too, because it's like you're on a spiritual page and you're making the spiritual page grow. So which means you agree with everything that I talk about. It's no way I would make a page grow that I don't like. I love it. I love it. It just shows another level of ignorance. And once again, we got the Page of Cups coming out here, which represents Pisces. This is the energy that has been picked up for the last couple of weeks that is talking about a Pisces. And it's like, once again, we got this thing retreating, that we have the 4 of Swords, that is the energy of resting and retreating. You have it paired with the 8 of Cups, which talks about abandonment and disappointment. And then now we have the King of Cups here appearing, which is being represented as Pisces. Somebody is getting ready to let go of all of this stuff that they're going through, and this person is going to walk away. They're going to abandon, and they're going to end up coming back in your life. And then look at that, the card at the bottom of the deck, you got the Queen of Cups. And then right under that, you got the Fool card. Right under that, you have the Page of Cups, which is an offer. And then you have the Star card, which is hope and inspiration. This thing is going to come back together. This couple is going to come back together, but we must learn that we got to do the work, y'all. We got to do the work in order to get this shit together. You know, I just don't see why we wait to the very last minute in order to do these things. Why we wait to the very last minute when there's things that we could be doing. There's things that we could be doing to bring money in and all types of stuff. There's things that we could be doing. Because it's like, come on, let's bring money in. This stuff is easy to do. We need to be doing simple rituals almost every single day so that we can practice more and more and build up that and build up our faith and build up our ashe. Simple things like let me show you. Like You can get you a box of candles, a box of different color candles, and every single day do a ritual, do a simple ritual. Let me Elijah, because let me give you the right stuff. Elijah, Elijah, look in that closet upstairs and bring me that black book. My black notebook. Yeah, bring me my black spiritual book. Cause they got all my notes in there. You should know what black book it is. It looked like a black notebook. Yeah, bring that to me. Thanks for the donation. It's a book that I have all of my notes in there. I write down, because as I was learning, I took notes. Every book I read and everything, I took notes because, that's the thing that I wanted to do, that, that if my kids, follow down the same path, that, they don't have to, that they don't have to, do all the research and stuff like that I had to do, that everything is just right here for them. That, everything is just, easy and simple for them. This is my book where, it's different rituals and stuff that I've done in here. Like, this was, 2015, I did a ritual in here that I still have my bay leaf with my cinnamon and stuff on here. And I did one for career, love life, and personal development. And this was my vision board. And so everything in here that I was just reciting this every year, like, like for career, I put, I wanted to make $100,000 a year where I would get raises and bonuses, something I love doing, and a place I would love to go, using my gifts, talents, and anointings, that I will be in upper management, that this will be God will, that I will be able to help others, that I will be able to grow in a company with a lot of benefits and hours that will allow me to be home for the kids. Now, this is something that I wrote in 2015. That goal has been met. I'm making six figures. I have been the director of HR for years. And so it's like everything in here has manifested. We should be doing simple rituals every day to manifest these things that we want. In here, in personal development, I put that I will win my lawsuit. I will win my EEOC case. In here, I won it. Years later, I won my EEOC case. In here, bless me to be a great father and leader. Bless me to be able to remodel my home. I remodeled my home and then sold that thing for way more than what I purchased it for. And so it's like, everything in here. I even have body goals in here. I was like, help me to be a healthy, 270 with 10% body fat. That goal was, somewhat accomplished. The heaviest that I got, it was 265. And so I'm telling you, everything in here, I'm always doing, rituals and stuff that I'm manifesting the things that I want. And so I have things in here. And one of the things that I started doing was I started tracking signs and omens. And so as I was seeing things, I was writing down what those omens meant. All of the numbers and everything that I was seeing, the ringing in the ears, all of the animals and stuff that I was seeing, I wrote everything down in here so that as my kid go through this and they start seeing these omens, they know exactly what these omens mean. And so I'm telling you, I put everything in here, but one of the most important things that I put in here is I took every last one of the Psalms and I wrote what the Psalms is for, what color candle you're supposed to use with that Psalms, and this is the one where I'm like, you can play around, get you a box of different color candles, and every single day do a simple ritual by doing a Psalms. We don't even have to worry about dressing them up with the right oils and the herbs. We can learn as we go and gradually increase rituals. But a candle itself that's not even dressed up is very powerful when you pair it with the right Psalms. So let's do this one. You have a blue candle. You can do Psalms 1 to bring peace into your home. You can do Psalms 2 to confront your storms. You can do Psalms 9 in order to this one is for a sick kid. If one of your kids are sick, you can recite Psalms 9 with a blue candle. You can recite Psalm 17 in order to have a safe journey. Let's do green candle. Green candle, you can do Psalms 4 for good luck. You can do Psalms 8 for favor and business deals. You can do, let's see, where else do we got green? Where else do we got green? You can do Psalms 57 to have good luck in all that you do. You can do Psalm 61 for many blessings when it comes to moving into a new home. And it's like just simple things. We can do these simple rituals. It's just reciting, lighting a candle and reciting a Psalms. Yes, it makes it more powerful when you pair it with the right herbs and oils, but just candle and Psalms alone is good. I don't know what somebody is. You said you and Arisha. Am I an Arisha priest? If that's what you're saying, yes, I'm an Arisha priest crowned Oya. But these are not Ifa. This is not Ifa spells. This is hoodoo. Whenever you're dealing with the Psalms and the Bible, this is hoodoo. Okay, so blue candle, we already went over blue candle because whether it's light blue, dark blue, blue is blue. And the one thing that I love about blue is I like Psalms 1 with blue. Psalms 89 to heal sickness quickly or to free a prisoner is with a blue candle. Orange candle. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with an orange candle. Let's look for orange. Orange candle. Change unhappy situations into a happy one. Psalm 16 with an orange candle. Let's see. What else do we got with orange? What else can we do with an orange candle? Orange candle to petition for material needs. Psalms 41 with an orange candle. It's like we can do simple rituals every day. Brown candle, just to start getting these things into our system, strengthening our spirit. Brown candle, where is my brown candle? Brown candle to overcome to overcome being materialistic. Brown candle, Psalms 56. Brown candle. What else do we got with a brown candle? What else do we got? Because brown is all about grounding. And so brown is really good for grounding when you're trying to ground yourself. So brown is really good with getting rid of addictions and all types of stuff. Brown is all about grounding yourself. That's one of the main ones it has for brown, though. Gray candle. Gray candle is good for turning shit back. Turning it, boy, to a Great candle, Psalm 75, to forgiveness of sins. Great candle, to save a friend from error. Psalms 80 and Psalms 81. Um, Great candle, to protect you from enemies. Psalms 94. To help a friend from making a great error. Psalms 95. With a great candle. It's a lot in here for a damn great candle. To break the cycle of negativity. Psalms 36, great candle. There's a lot in here for purple too. Purple is very strong. Purple is very similar to a black candle. Purple is really good, especially like when people are gossiping and stuff like that. You can use a purple candle for that. A purple candle will uproot all that shit. To free yourself from harmful or evil habits. Great candle, Psalm 69. I'm telling you, it's a lot of things that you can do, and it's practice. It's you're starting off very small. That first you're starting off, and that's exactly how I started off. That I started off with candles, and then the next thing you know, I started reciting. I started learning that each color candle is connected to a Psalms. Then I start learning that all of the color candles, they're associated with certain things. Like green is prosperity, so you can dress it with prosperity oil and herbs and spices that goes with prosperity. Blue is normally known for healing, and so you can address it with a lot of healing. You got black for sending things, so you can pair it with a lot of hot things. And so all of this stuff is just is patience. Is you keep building upon these things, and the next thing you know, you end up getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's going to be a whole lot harder for people to send things your way. And you're going to start noticing that even when you go through your storms, it's a whole lot easier to get through your storms. It's just good practices to do these things every single day. Get you some candles, get you the money oils and stuff like that, and start practicing and doing this stuff. And then the next thing you know, you can start taking it to the next level, because there's a lot of things you can do with candles that you can pair with candles, like tobacco smoke and all types of stuff, sigils. But it's like you gotta know the basic first. You gotta start with the basic, and you keep building yourself up. Like, I hate when people always say, oh, you probably just dealing with somebody that know candle magic. No, baby, candle magic is powerful. When people say shit like that, you're talking about people that is on the basic form of candle magic, that the only thing they're doing is taking a candle and lighting it. It is so much shit you can do with a fucking candle. It is so much. Candles are portals. Candles is divination. Candles is so powerful. You can do so much with a candle. Candle is fire magic. It is fire rituals. There is so many things you can do with a candle. Candles are very powerful. And the more you learn with it, and you start learning all of the things that you can pair with candles, you will start noticing that you're getting more and more stuff, more and more different types of manifestations. But candles are very powerful, especially once you start pairing it with other stuff. But you won't be able to do that until you learn the basics. But anyways, y'all, I'm about to get off this live. I need to upload my video, which I talked about it during this live, but I need to upload it. Christians, keep supporting my page and making it go far. It's because of you that I have 11,000 followers now. So keep it up, Christians. Boy, my Christian brothers and sisters, they keep this page going. Because the more you comment and stuff like that, you make this page go further and further. So keep it up, my Christian brothers and sisters. Keep it up. Keep it going. I'm at 11,000 now. By the time y'all get done, I'll be at 500,000 by tomorrow. Ashe. Y'all gonna keep this page alive, boy. This page ain't gonna never go dead. But honestly, let's start doing these basic things. I'm telling y'all, when you start doing these things for yourself, it's a whole lot harder for somebody else to press their will on you. It's a whole lot harder for people to press their will on you when you are already doing things that you are saying, no, green candle, I'm going to be a millionaire. It's hard for somebody to say, no, you're going to be poor. You got to start doing these basic things yourself. And the more and more you start doing it, you're going to start seeing the increase of your faith and the increase of your intentions. Start small. Don't start believing for $1 million if you can't even believe that God will be able to give you $10 and pay your bills. Start small, because every last one of these things is about faith and intentions. When you start believing that God will supply every last one of your needs, that you will never be homeless, that you will never be kicked out, when you can believe on that level, then you can start believing that not only will God supply your needs, but you will have things running over. So now, not only are your bills and stuff being paid, but now you have extra money to put into your 401k and you have money to invest. When you believe at that level, now you believe that you will have multiple streams of income. And now money will start coming in all of these different directions. Now, when you believe in that, it's like it's a level to everything. It's the more that you put your faith and your belief into this, the more things will happen. It is the same way with love. If you believe that a man will not be faithful, you will always attract people that will cheat on you, because that's what you strongly believe. But the more you start believing that, no, I am worthy of having a faithful partner, you will have a faithful partner. The more you start believing that, no, I'm going to be with somebody that's going to be with me for the rest of my life, you will start attracting that energy into your life. But it starts with your consciousness. And the best way for you to change consciousness is by keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. It's just like with the Christians in the chat. They got to constantly convince themselves that they're a Christian. They are on a spiritual page and they got to constantly convince themselves, I'm a Christian. Jesus is Lord. They got to constantly convince themselves, even though they are not in an environment that supports that. That's what you got to do. You got to constantly do these things that you are keep convincing the subconscious that I am worthy of this, that money belongs to me, that money will follow me, that money is mine, money belongs in my wallet, money will fill my bank accounts. And the more and more that you keep reciting this and you start doing these rituals, you will start noticing that you will start seeing the physical change of this. Now you will start seeing the physical manifestation, because you will learn that it's not what you confess, it's what you believe. It is what you believe. If you believe that you are deserving of it, you are going to get it. If you don't believe it, then you're never going to get it. It's what you believe. It's not what you confess. What you confess is just routine in order to try to get the consciousness and the subconscious to get on the same plane. It's for the consciousness to understand what Ori is telling you. And when you get everything on the same plane, Ashe, which is spirit, Ori, which is your soul, your body, which is the consciousness of what you can see. When you get everything on the same plane, that everything is saying, I am worthy. I am worthy of this. I am worthy of that. You're going to start seeing manifestation. But you're never going to see it until everything get on the same plane. Everything got to get on the same plane in order for you to start seeing that manifestation. You got to believe it. And until you believe it, you will always see little crumbs here and there until you start believing it. It's more than just lip service. These are things that we must practice every single day. The first thing that I do when I get up is I acknowledge my Ori. You always acknowledge what is inside of you first before you acknowledge anything external. The first thing you acknowledge is your Ori. Your Ori is the first thing that you acknowledge. Your Ori is the one that accepts or rejects blessings. If your Ori is not in alignment with what you're asking for, you're not going to get it. Ori is your soul. Ori is your spiritual head. Ori is the true essence of who you are. Every single time when you were reincarnated, your body changed, but Ori never changed. Your Ori is the true essence in who you are. Ori is the first one that must be acknowledged before any Orisha, before any ancestor, before any spirit guide, before anything outside of your physical body get praise and acknowledgement. Ori must be acknowledged first. Your higher self must be acknowledged first. My Ori is a good Ori, Ashe. Good Ori is my Ori, Ashe. Ori is the first one that must be acknowledged. From Ori, we go to the ancestors. From the ancestors, we go to the Orishas. The very first Orisha we must acknowledge is Ilegwa. From the Orishas, we give all praise to the gods. Olodumare, God of the earth. Olorun, God of the heavens. And Olafi, the mediator between the two. But before the ancestors, the Orishas, and God himself, we give praise to our Ori. The very first deity that you ever met was Ori, was yourself. You must give praise to yourself first. And that is why, and I'll get off of here in a minute. I said that 18 hours ago. And because it's just keep bringing up good topics, is that the one thing that I always figured out, the one thing that I always pondered as I was a kid, and some of you gotta go back and you gotta go back to your childlike self and answer those questions that the child you asked when you were sitting there in church. And I used to always wonder when I was in church, it was like, why is it praise never came to you? You were never praised for anything. You were always taught, you give God the praise, you give Jesus the praise, you give Holy Spirit the praise. And it's like, you give all these external things praise, but you never praise yourself. You never thank yourself for filling out the application and then praising God for giving you the opportunity. It was like, no, Christianity always taught you, deny yourself, don't acknowledge yourself. You only praise God and Jesus. That's it. It's nothing else. You don't matter. You don't exist. You're not important. And I used to always ask myself as a kid, why is it that we don't even acknowledge ourselves to the slightest level? Why is it that we can't say, good job, Rashad, on listening to God? Good job on following God, and then thank you, God, for leading me. Why is it that we're always getting beat up, telling us to deny ourselves in every single way? Because the more you deny yourself, you will never feed or reap. The more that you deny yourself, you will never acknowledge the soul that is in you, which is the true you. The more that I teach you that everything on the external is more important than you will never realize your own power. And this goes for everything. You will always be desperately depending on the Orishas. You will always desperately be depending on Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and everything else because you don't know how important of a creation that you are. And that's why religion always keeps you in your place. Religion always tell you that you are not shit. All of the praise go to God. All of the praise go to Jesus. You are nothing. No. You are the beginning. You are the seed. You are the one that everything external is trying to help. That's how important you are. So to deny yourself is to deny the very existence of God. You are very important. You got to go back and think of those questions that you were taught never to ask yourself when you were in the church. Because every time when the church never knew the answer for something, they shut you up. They scorned you. They told you you were evil. They told you you were bad. They told you you were going to hell. Now, since you are an adult, it is time for you to go back and revisit those questions and allow your Ori to answer those questions. It is a reason you are constantly being taught to deny yourself and to be codependent on everything else. Now, how is it that we're taught that codependency in a relationship is wrong, but we're codependent in relationships when it comes to the spiritual? How did that make sense? What's done in the physical is done in the spiritual. What's done in the spiritual is done in the physical. It's vice versa. They're all connected. And so if it's bad to be codependent in the physical, it is bad to be codependent in the spiritual. That if my ancestors was to wake up today and say that they want to abandon me, I can still say I'm good because I have my Ori. That if the Orishas are so busy that they cannot answer my prayers, I can say I'm good because I have my Ori. None of these religions teach you how to get to the true essence of who you are. In order for you to get to the true essence of who you are, you literally have to go into each and every last one of these religions because they all teach you just a piece of what you need to know, but nobody teach you everything because nobody wants you to truly find out who you are. The one thing about Pentecostal apostolic, they're really good at teaching you the power of Holy Spirit, which is ashe. If you grew up Pentecostal apostolic, oh baby, you got some power behind you. You know how to pray. You know how to manifest. You know how to rain things down. You know how to move spirit in your fucking home. You know how to tell God, I need you right now. My prayers need to be answered. I'm not finna get up off this goddamn floor until you answer me. But you don't know how to heal yourself. You're still dealing with all of these scars. You never did shadow work. You don't know who Ori is. And you're very you're just clueless about who you truly are and the power you truly possess. The only thing Pentecostal taught you how to do is have power with no guidance. Is to have power with no self-identity. And so now you got to go into something else where you have to go into Buddha, because now they're really strong at teaching you about the soul. They will teach you more about past lives and soul more than almost any other religion. And it's like, in order to get a true concept of who you truly are, you really got to learn the basics of almost every last one of these religions, because every last one of them, they are designed to only give you a piece that they can prove that they can give you some level of power that will keep you stuck on them. But at the end of the day, everything else is meant to trap you. Christianity will teach you power. We'll teach you the power of Holy Spirit, but we're not going to dare teach you how to heal yourself. We're not going to dare teach you how to do shadow work, because we want you to stay ignorant and say you can only get it from Jesus. You can only get it from Jesus. You got to wait on Jesus. That's the only way you're going to get it. Your power with no direction. Your power with no healed heart. That's all you are. Is a walking generator that can explode at any moment. Every last one of these things, they teach you enough just to get you hooked and just to keep you in their religion. The best route to go is spirituality, that you can go into each and every last one of these religions and each and every last one of these spiritual paths, and you can take out what is true and leave all of the other BS. Let them have everything else. Because the whole goal is to keep you sucked in. That is the whole goal. The whole goal is to keep you codependent. And codependency on anything is not good. Nobody should be codependent. We are meant to stand on our own. Religion will always keep you trapped. That is the whole goal of religion. Religion is to keep you trapped. It's you gotta believe in this system. You can't believe in anything outside of that system. That's a cult. I believe in a lot of different things. I believe in the Orishas. I work with deities outside of Ifa, because I have the mindset of spirituality and not religion, that I go in and I get the truth and I leave everything else. I leave everything else that doesn't align with my Ori, that doesn't align with what my Ori is telling me. What my Ori says is the most important thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Somebody hit a good topic. Somebody said, what about the relationship with God over religion? Yes, That's what it's all about. But see, that's the thing about it is that, and I got 4% left, so I got to hurry it up. I got 4%, so it's not going to be much of a conversation. I mean, I guess I could put it on the charger, but that means I'm going to be stuck talking for hours again. That's that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be having a relationship with God, but we don't have a relationship with God because we teach religion. We teach religion is that they say that my goal is to get you into the church, is to build a relationship with the church so that when I say God spoke to me and he told me that 8 of y'all people are going to give me $10,000, you are so ignorant and you're not plugged into God that you give them the money, not knowing that God said, don't give this fool this money, but you give them the money in hopes of being blessed because you bless the prophet, because you bless the man of God who is a scammer. And it was all because they brought you into relationship with the church and not with relationship to God. There is a reason why they want you to have a relationship with the church and not a relationship with God. Because if I give you a relationship to God, you're going to see through my BS. But if I sell you on a relationship with the church, you're a money machine that will always give every time I need it or anything that I need. Why do you think people fall for these tricks all the time that they end up, that they end up sleeping with the pastor and everything else? Because they have a relationship with the church and they don't have a relationship with God. The whole purpose is to please the pastor. Look at every single time when it's time for family day and stuff like that at church, people will bring all of these people in the church, people that they know have no heart for God, has no respect for the church, just so that when pastors say, how many people did you bring? You can have 30 people to rise and say, Pastor, I brought 30 people into the church. That wasn't for God. That was for man to give you praise. That was for man to give you an applaud. That was for the pastor to say, good job, you brought me 30 more slaves. You didn't teach none of these people to build a relationship with God. That was a relationship with man. And that's what we do. We only have people to build a relationship with man so that we can keep the money cow going. And it's more than just Christianity. It is the same way sometimes in Ifa and Santeria that these babalaos will have y'all building. Oh, I need to put some oil in my beard. So I can lay this stuff down. But it's the same way. It's the same way in my spiritual path. Some of these people will have you building a relationship with the Babalao that you don't even know how to work with your Orishas. They never taught you how to work with your Orishas because they always want you coming back to them. Every time you like, oh, I'm going through something. Oh, give me $1,000 and I'll do this for Ilegwa. Why can't you teach me how to work with my Ilegwa? Why can't you teach me how to work with my Ogun? Because if I teach you, you won't come back to me. That is the reason why. If I teach you, you will not come back to me. And so you got so many people, and that is the one thing about it, is that people have seen how successful Christianity has been over the years with robbing people of their money, that you got some religions and spiritual paths that is now following after Christianity And they are like, if you were fooled by Christianity, then we'll fool you in this religion as well. We'll teach you the exact same thing. We'll tell you that in order to be blessed, you need to give Obatala an offering every Sunday. And then the next thing you know, by the time I counted up the money, you gave me $1,000 every month. You got to build your own relationship. You got to build your own relationship. The amount of people is so sad and pathetic that when I started out, the amount of people that have reached out to me and said, I have learned more from you about the Orishas than the person that initiated me in the religion. That's a crying damn shame. Because that means that person was only in it for the money. That means they took your money. They didn't tell you anything. They didn't teach you how to work with the Orishas, because the whole goal was to use you as a money cow until the day that they die. That every single time you need something, you are going to them. No, no, no. My children are going to learn how to work with the Orishas. You are going to learn how to go to your altars and know what the fuck to do. You don't need me every single time that something came up in your life. The only thing you should be telling me, the only thing you should be asking me is, Rashad, what ritual do I need to do? Get this, and this. Go in front of Ilegwa and do this. Go in front of Ogun and do this. Go in front of Oya and do this. It shouldn't be taking your money every single time. We really, I'm telling you, religion and stuff, all of these things are nothing but traps. All of it is nothing but traps. It's the same way. People seeing how successful slavery was, and people want to do the same thing. They just don't want to be the slave. They want to be the slave owner. It's like, yeah, I seen how successful it was, and I seen how harmful it was to blacks as well, but I don't mind doing it as long as I'm the slave owner. I don't see, people changing the color of Jesus. I don't see what's the difference. I don't see what's the difference between white Jesus and black Jesus. I really don't see the difference. It still was responsible for slavery. Whether we paint them black or white, it was still responsible for slavery. The Bible was heavily used in order to manipulate and influence the blacks, and told us that we was shit and we're supposed to be reporting to the whites. So whether you paint them white or black, it doesn't make a difference. It was still used in the exact same way. So we can take crayons and shade them all day. It don't make a difference. No, there is some things like, I'm not gonna, don't get me wrong. I go heavy on Christianity, but I do believe in the energy of Yeshua. I do believe in it to an extent, but not to the extent of the view of the white colonizer. Not in the view of the white colonizer. I don't see it in the same lens as the white colonizer. It will be impossible to see it in the same view as the white colonizer. And I don't see how all of us can read the same thing and we all see something differently. Everybody is like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus did not fuck with any of the religious people. He didn't like the Pharisees. He didn't like the Sadducees. And majority of y'all that's saying Jesus is Lord and stuff like that, he wouldn't even fuck with y'all this day. He would be treating y'all just like he treated the Pharisees and the Sadducees because of your views and the evilness in your heart. Do you really think he would support all of the condemnation, the bloodshed, and everything else that has been done in his name. I have my, I have my views on that too, because somebody said, Jesus teaches you to love your neighbor, but you got to think about it. Everybody is going to be seeing it through a cultural line as well, because it's like, it's easy for you to enjoy a scripture like that if you're white. But if you're black, the way that I see it, we were taught to love our neighbors, because to love our neighbor is to love the slave owner and not rise up against him. And this is how you were able to control the slave when it was more blacks than whites. At any moment, they could have rose up and they could have overtaken the whites. But we never did it. We never rose up because we were taught that we were supposed to love our neighbors. That when they burn down our house, we love our neighbors. When they whip us and put marks all over our bodies, we love our neighbors. When they put us in prison for no reason, we are supposed to love our neighbors. It's teaching us more to stay out of our power and not have identity, instead of taking up for ourselves and walking in power and independence. And so even when we read things, we see things through a cultural line. It's easy to see love your neighbors when you're white and you didn't go through any oppression. It's hard to say, oh, love your neighbors when you have come through a line of slavery. And so we see things differently. I agree. I agree that somebody said God has multiple avatars. I agree. And I believe that every last one of those avatars is represented in the different religions, in the different spiritual paths. That's just like in the book of Revelation, when it said that, God will judge the churches. People think that the churches are just the churches because people are people. But the churches is metaphor. The churches is a metaphor for all of the different religions and all of the different spiritual paths. It's saying that every last one of them will be judged based on what it is that they did. And so that is another clue that every last one of these religions and spiritual paths is all connected to the same God, but we're just so ignorant that we're fighting each other and saying, you got to say this name, when no matter what name you say, you're still talking about the same God. You're still talking about the same God. Just like with the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel was the exact same way. That it was saying that before we were divided, everybody spoke the same language. Everybody was on the same plane. To me, all of these different religions and spiritual paths, it started at the Tower of Babel. The moment that we were separated by language, we created culture based on the language that we spoke. And now because of that, we all took a part of what we knew about God and we created religions based on that. We created spiritual practices based on that. It was based on what we knew. Not realizing that regardless of what you called it, regardless of what you did, you're still serving the exact same God that changed our language. He said that's what y'all get, because he said when y'all came together, y'all tried to kill me. That's Bible. It says that was the whole purpose of the tower, is that we was building a tower to the heavens to kill God. And God knew that we were getting ready to kill him, so he came down and changed our language. That is the Tower of Babel. Somebody said you twist scripture. That is scripture. Tell me where it's not in the scripture. That is the whole tower. You got to read the scripture. That's the one thing about Christians, is that when people tell you something, you don't know it because you never read the Old Testament. That is the Old Testament. Old Testament, it teaches you about the Tower of Babel. And even when you listen to the missing books in the Bible, they fill you in on the rest of the story. And the whole story of the Tower of Babel is, we said that we are tired of God. It's like, I'm tired of you. You always telling us what to do. We are about to build a tower to the heavens that we can kill God, that we can do our own thing. The Bible said that God knew exactly what we were going to do. And so he sent an angel down. To me, that angel was the Elegwa, which is the Orisha of communication. You can believe whoever it is. But to me, when I read that, that was the first thing that I thought of is Elegwa, that it said that God sent his messenger down and confused everyone's language because we were trying to kill God. And now, because our language was confused, we were no longer able to carry out that plan. So let's be real. You gotta know the Bible, and or if you're gonna agree or disagree on it, you gotta at least know the scriptures. But that is the biblical thing, But I just grew up Pentecostal apostolic, but I follow Ifa. I follow Ifa. Ifa is just more. It makes more sense, And there's still things about the Bible that I do, that I do still believe in, but Oh yeah, the books of some are incantations. Yeah, I always say that. I preach that all the time on this page. The book of Psalms is powerful. That is one of the main things in hoodoo, is mastering the book of Psalms. But man, it's so much to dissect. It's just so much to dissect. But we see things from a different lens, even based on our culture, because it's the same thing where it's like, yeah, God tell us not to follow these different gods and stuff like that, but it's like, as a white person you can see that and you can run with it, but in a black person it's like, okay, wait a minute, are you throwing in our face what you did to us? Like, we like the Bible says that, before Abraham started worshiping God, it said that he had his own God that he was worshiping. He and his people had their own God, and that God called him out to follow him, and Abraham came. Is that really the story of slavery? But instead of being called out, we were dragged out and thrown on a ship and was forced to abandon our gods. So which one is it? Were we called out or were we forced out? Which one? Because there's a big difference between the two, especially if this is the only book that we can read, the book that we can know, and this book is supposed to be so powerful. Why would you give someone that you want to stay powerless a book that can change everything? You're not going to give slaves that much power. You're not going to put them in handcuffs and give them the key as well. If you're putting them in handcuffs and chains, You're not going to give them the fucking key to get out. Come on now, let's be real. We're not going to get that key, but we like it. Us black folks, we love, I'm just going to wait on Jesus. That's what they taught us. That's what they taught. I'm just going to wait on Jesus. I'm just going to wait on Jesus. That's all I'm going to do is just wait on Jesus. Baby, while y'all waiting on Jesus, I'm going to go to the ancestors. I'm going to go to Ilegwa. I'm going to go to Ogun. I'm going to go to Ochosi. I'm going to go to Oya. I'm going to go to Chango. I'm going to go to Obatala. I'm going to go to Yemaya. I'm going to go to Oshun. I'm going to go to Oko. I'm going to go to Oduduwa. I'm going to go to Babaluaye. I'm going to go to Ageyu. I'm going to go to Oba. There's different options for me. But you just keep waiting, brother. One of these days it's gonna come. But I think that Oya is my head Orisha. I love Oya. Oya is my head Orisha. I'm actually doing a ritual with Oya right now, right behind me. Doing a powerful ritual with Oya. But this journey is a lot, y'all. I have went through so many spiritual awakenings and trying to figure everything out. And the best thing that I can tell any of you is follow your gut. Follow what resonates with you. But the one thing that really pushed me away from Christianity is that it's the negativity that comes with it. No other religion. If you were to go to Ifa now, if you were to go to any Babalawo, and then you pull out and say, you know what? I don't think this religion is for me. They will just say, okay, if you decide to come back, come back. But if you don't want to follow this religion, it's fine. You do it to any other religion, it's like, okay, fine, do what you got to do. Do that with Christianity and see what happens. Baby, they going to tell you finna be in somebody hell. They finna talk about everything. They finna talk about the way you look, the way you smell, the way you dress. They finna talk about your mama, your daddy, your uncle. And it's like, is it really worth all of that? Christians have the characteristics. I say it all the time, and it's something that I strongly believe that is something off about that religion. Is that majority of the Christians are walking around with the characteristics that describe the devil, which is to kill, steal, and destroy. I have never met a group of people with so much hatred and so much, you're gonna follow me or I'm gonna put you in hell. It's like with that much aggression, with that much hatred, it's like it's something off about that religion. It is something extremely off about that religion. When you cannot accept no, when you cannot accept, I'm sorry, this is not for me, it is something off about that. You just gotta, it's just like what the Bible say, you gotta judge the tree by the fruit that it bears. And when you cannot accept, when you can't handle rejection, when you can't handle somebody telling you no without you blowing up and putting somebody in a hell that you don't own and stuff like that, is something off about that. And if it just happened with a few people, maybe it's that person. But when this is the majority of Christians, it's like it's something wrong with this religion. It is something wrong with this religion. I'm like, it is really something wrong with that religion. I have never met a group of people that can't handle no. I'm sorry, this is not for me. You're going to hell. Baby, y'all need some deliverance. Y'all need some true deliverance. It's not that serious. But I'm gonna get up off here, y'all, because I need to cook some. I know Elijah is ready to eat. So I need to go on and cook some. So y'all stay blessed. I'm gonna upload this video in a few. Y'all stay blessed.